Hello everyone and Professor Bhaskaran. My name is Rachel Varan and this is my video blog number 1 about EHR and risk management. Risk management plans, identifies, assesses, and evaluates risk. The purpose of risk management is to reduce the number of risks and to reduce the number of impacts of the risks when they do occur. There are 4 steps that should be followed in risk management. The first part of risk management is identification. In this step, the risks to the organization are identified. In the second step, remedies are brainstormed for the risk identified. The third step is to identify controls. Controls either fix or they lessen the risk. The last step is to accept if any risks fall through the crack, which could happen if the controls fail. EHR is an important healthcare information that is used in real time. Electronic health records are used every day in hospitals, rehabs, nursing homes, and even physician offices. A EHR, as we know or we should know, holds a patient's medical information, such as vital signs, or their history and physical, or prior surgeries they have had, and past medical issues. A process called FMEA can be used to identify possible risks with EHRs. But what is the FMEA? It is used to identify the place, the cause, and the consequences of the risk. The FMEA began in the early 1970s and was adopted by the Joint Commission and the American Hospital Association. Step 1 of the FMEA process. The risk management team will be used to identify the risks in the EHR, and each risk will be rated on a scale. Risk of the EHR can include high cost, poor software quality, and the time it takes to implement may be too long. And for the scale, it could be on a scale of 1 to 5. So cost could be ranked as number 5, and time could be ranked as number 1. As we know, EHRs cost a lot of money to implement, and if you rush to implement a EHR, you could end up with a poor quality one, and it takes a long time to implement. Step 2 will be to figure out how to treat these risks. A possible remedy would be to train employees more. Training, and more training. Usually the lack of training leads to errors, which leads to more risk. So for example, if an employee did not know how to use the software properly, instead of saving her work, she could accidentally delete it, and vital information can be lost. Or she might be trying to send the information to a doctor, but instead she sends the information to a stranger in the outside world, and then that stranger has a patient's sensitive information. The third step is to apply controls. Just as employees need training, managers need training as well. A control to ensure EHR risks are mitigated is that managers should receive training from the creators of the EHR software. The creators should also provide 24/7 assistance in case the managers or even the employees run into any problems. At the rehab facility that I work at, we use a software called MediLinks where the nurses do online charting instead of paper charting. And we always have a number for the MediLinks vendors in case we run into problems or if the software freezes. The fourth step is to accept any risk that might have fallen through the cracks. Even if proper training and assistance was given, there are still risks such as a weak network, unexpected high workload, or unexpected expenses. A weak network could be easily solved. For example, if the facility is using, say, AT&T and they don't have a good range of network, they could upgrade their network through AT&T, or they may choose another provider, such as Charter, that may have a higher speed of network. For the unexpected high workload, sometimes the organization will just have to accept that because there is no way to lessen the workload. And unexpected expenses can be fixed by the facility going back and reviewing their budget. But the facility may also want to think about that even though they may have went over budget for the EHR implementation, they need to remember that it may also benefit the company and may lessen the stress on employees if it makes their job easier. This is my citation that I used for the research, and thank you very much. That was my presentation.